Welcome to the Get Fit Guys, quick and dirty tips to slim down and shape up. My name is Ben Greenfield. I'm the Get Fit Guy, and this is part one of a special two-part series that we're going to go into on how to increase your grip strength. So let's start here. I've got a quick question for you. Which of your muscles did you use most over the past hour? The past day? The past week? Well, if you're like most people on the face of this planet, the answer is this: your fingers, hands, wrists, and forearms. Just think about it. Nearly every sport that exists, from swimming to wrestling to golf to tennis to football to basketball to baseball to climbing to obstacle course racing and beyond, require extremely high levels of the 35 tiny gripping muscles in your forearms and hand. But most common activities of daily living also require upon adequate strength and endurance in these muscles, like typing, moving the trackpad or mouse on your computer, doing the dishes, carrying laundry, turning a doorknob, vacuuming, driving, and even sex. Seriously, just try to get it on in the bedroom with your hands tied behind your back or your fingers clenched in fists the whole time, and let me know how that works out for you. Well, anyways, if your grip and forearm muscles are not conditioned with mobility, strength, and endurance, then the result winds up being the frustrating chronic repetitive motion injuries that plague both office workers and athletes alike. For example, without adequate grip and forearm strength, tennis players develop a debilitating, frustrating, disabling condition called lateral epicondylitis, or tennis elbow, which is pain on the outside of the elbow. Golfers, climbers, crossfitters, or obstacle racers who don't have adequate grip and forearm training often develop the opposite issue, a problem known as golfer's elbow, climber's elbow, or medial epicondylitis, which is basically pain anywhere on the inside of the elbow and forearm. People who work on a computer often get one or both of these same issues, and you can get all the deep tissue work, injections, massage, and anti-inflammatory remedies on the face of the planet, but until you address the underlying issue of grip and forearm conditioning, these problems will continue to plague you. It actually baffles me why many physical therapists, physicians, and chiropractors don't more often prescribe grip strengthening strategies for recovery from issues like tennis elbow or golfer's elbow or even carpal tunnel syndrome. For me personally, the elbow pain that I've gotten from the combination of copious amounts of pull-ups and rope climbing combined with ungodly amounts of time spent typing away on my MacBook Pro has only really been remedied with the type of grip exercises you're going to get later on in this article, and not via remedies like injections or topical ointments or curcumin or ginger or anything else that would normally work for other injuries on other parts of my body. And there's this fitness training legend named Charles Poliquin who really backs this up when he says, quote, "These ailments are often caused by improper strength ratios between the elbow muscles and the forearm muscles. If the elbow flexors, like the biceps and brachialis, are too strong for the forearm flexors, uneven tension accumulates in the soft tissue and results in elbow pain." Heck, issues with your grip can even radiate out to other areas of your body too, and cause even more injuries that you'd never guess have anything to do with your grip. For example, the health of your shoulder and rotator cuff has been correlated to the strength of your grip. One study found that grip strength has a significant correlation with the muscle strength of shoulder abduction, that's moving your shoulder away from your body, and external rotation of the shoulder. And another study revealed increased prevalence of rotator cuff weakness and injury that occurs on the same side of a hand injury or a hand disorder. But grip strength goes above and beyond just injury prevention. For example, it's been proven in multiple studies that grip strength is a fantastic predictor of overall body strength. In his book, Science of Sport Training, sports scientist Thomas Kurz recommends the measurement of hand grip strength using something called a grip dynamometer. You can get one for home use on a website like Amazon. And what that does is it reveals the strength and physical readiness of your grip. For example, if grip strength is fallen below baseline or before where it was before the previous day's workout, it can actually be an indicator of fatigue or lack of optimal recovery. Back to the wisdom of Charles Poliquin, who also says that When your grip strength improves, less neural drive is needed for the forearm and hand muscles to perform other exercises. That's why many trainees report breaking training plateaus in a host of lifts, ranging from deadlifts to curls, after doing a grip specialization routine. In my Get Fit Guy episode, How to Train Like an American Ninja Warrior, you learn why grip strength is paramount in an obstacle-style event, especially for obstacles in American Ninja Warrior like the arm rings, the salmon ladder, devil steps, and the pipe slider. In that episode, I mentioned that some of my favorite grip strengthening activities include doing pull-ups or assisted pull-ups with as many different grips as possible, wrapping a towel around a bar and hanging from the towel, walking while holding some kind of a heavy rock or bucket filled with water, pinching 2 weight plates together with one hand, and even bouldering at my local rock climbing facility. But you don't need to be training for a TV show to benefit from these type of movements. As you've just learned, you can be a writer with wrist pain or a golfer with elbow pain, and these same exercises, when performed properly and combined with a few other tips you'll get towards the end of this episode series, can banish any frustrating wrist and elbow pain. Now, I detail many of these grip strengthening strategies in my answer to a rock climber on the bengreenfieldfitness.com podcast episode entitled The Best Ways to Increase Grip Strength. I'll link to that and also many of the other resources I discuss in this series over at quickanddirtytips.com. Just go there and look up episode 272. The reason I go out of my way to find so many different ways to train my grip is because there are so many tiny muscles in your fingers, your hands, your wrists, and your forearms that the greater the variety of ways you can train your grip, the greater the likelihood that your grip isn't going to fail you when you need it the most. And the less the likelihood that you're going to develop chronic repetitive motion injuries from things like typing, housework, or other activities of daily living. It's also important to understand that, as I also detail in that podcast episode about the best ways to increase grip strength, some of your grip work should be heavy, short, and explosive to build grip strength and the ability to grasp a variety of objects, while some of your grip work should be light, long, and slow to build grip endurance and the ability to hold on for long periods of time. Well, last year, I hired a fitness coach to help me personally stay motivated, stay accountable, get faster, and more proficient in the sport of obstacle course racing. My coach's name is Yancey Culp. You can learn more about him over at bengreenfieldfitness.com/Yancey. That's Yancy. And since hiring him, my grip strength and the mobility in my fingers, hands, and wrists have absolutely exploded. So to give you even more insight on the nitty-gritty of how to increase your grip strength, I turned to Yancey to get his thoughts on how to gain more insight into his techniques and to get a better grip. Well, in part 2 of this episode, which will air in just a couple weeks, you're going to find out exactly what Yancey had to say, and you're also going to find out some of the exact rehabilitation techniques I personally use to get rid of my own elbow and wrist pain brought on with oodles of pull-ups, lots of typing, and those darn computer trackpads. But in the meantime, if you have questions about why grip strength is important or how to increase your own grip strength or get rid of elbow and wrist pain, then join the conversation over at facebook.com/getfitguy. And until next time, I'm Ben Greenfield, the Get Fit Guy, asking you, what are you waiting for? Go get fit.